All right, we are on our way here. Just got past Bishop, just got through Bishop, and we are heading up towards the Mammoth area. And our destination is the Upper Owens River. We're gonna do some camping, dispersed camping near the Upper Owens River. And we are fishing for cutthroat trout. It's late May, and that means it's cutthroat season. So the big cutthroat should be in the river, migrating up from Crowley Lake, and it is my aim to try to catch some. So we're on our way. All right, we're up here now. We're up near, getting close to Lake Crowley. Making our way to our destination. I'm kind of in a hurry. I'd like to do some fishing this afternoon. Fishing conditions up here in the Eastern Sierra are largely dictated by wind. And according to the forecast, today is the least windy day of the week. So today's probably been the best day for fishing. So usually up here the wind really starts to kick up by 2 o'clock in the afternoon or so. So fishing usually shuts down. It's really difficult to fly fish in the wind. I still need to find a campsite. I have an idea of where I want to camp. I'm hoping that the spot will be open. Beautiful day up here. You couldn't ask for better conditions. It's mid 60s. The sun is shining, and hopefully there's plenty of big cutthroat still in the stream. I think they've been in the stream for a couple weeks, and hopefully they'll hang around for at least another week while I'm up here. It's great to be up here. I haven't been up here at this time of year in a few years, so it's been a while since I've been fishing for these cutthroat trout, which I really enjoy fishing for. They're a real aggressive trout, and they can get pretty big in this stream. So hopefully there's not too many anglers out there spooking them. I'll check back in next from the campsite. Hopefully it doesn't take me too long to find a campsite, drop anchor here, and get to the river. All right, well, I got lucky. My spot that I wanted, that I was checking out last night on Google Maps, is open. And it's a nice level spot. I just pulled right in. And how about those vistas? Kind of close to this dirt road. We're close to some hot springs up here that people like to come sit in. So there will probably be some traffic on this road right here. There was actually a few cars when I was driving in, so I thought it was going to be all kinds of busy. But out here right now, it's quiet. Don't hear a thing. Ready to pop the top. Good spot. All right. Next time I'll check in. Hopefully we'll be from the river, from the banks of the Upper Owens. So we'll check back in a few. Well, I didn't make it down to the water today. Well, I did make it down to the water. I just didn't make it out on the water. I drove down there about 4 p.m. and it was just little too crowded. There was a lot of people out there, and after that long drive, I just didn't really feel like gearing up and fishing. Just gonna kind of chill for the night, I guess. Beautiful campsite, awesome views. I'm a little taken aback at the mosquitoes. There's an awful lot of mosquitoes. It might be just because there's no wind. It might just be the time of day. but hopefully the mosquitoes don't get too bad. I mean, this is an awesome place. I just hope the mosquitoes don't drive me away. My plan is to go fishing in the morning. After a long drive, I guess I just didn't really have the ambition. I'm happy to be set up now. The mosquitoes were awful when I came back here to my camper. They seem to be subsiding a little bit. I hope they don't become a problem, but beautiful spot. Sun's starting to go down. It's real nice and cool. Skeeters, man, they can be brutal. They're doing some controlled burns up north of Mammoth, looks like in the June Lake area. So that's what's contributing to the hazy sky. But it makes for a nice ethereal atmosphere. All right, here we are on the banks of the Upper O. It's morning time. It's about 9:30. As you can see, the sun is out and it's a pretty glorious day. There's Mammoth Mountain right there in the middle of the picture, and the Owens River just meandering down this valley. This is called Long Valley, and there's a lot of water. It's good flows. We just got out here, so I'm going to cruise the river a little bit. You can see my truck back there. I'm the only one parked in this spot, which is awesome. A far cry from yesterday. It was just jam-packed. So it's always good to get out here in the morning. Now, I'll probably walk around a little bit, walk the banks until I start to see some signs of fish activity. And then I'll throw in. But what a spot. All right, I see one. You can see it right there. He's all beat up and got a lot of white spots on him. And I think that usually means he's nearing the end of his life. These fish can make the run up into these streams to spawn multiple times, but I think it takes a lot out of them. And the older they get, they only have so many years. So that's good to see that fish. I'm not going to fish for him because he's all beat up, but I think that means that's a good sign. I think there might be some others. They're usually in groups, so there might be some others nearby. Well, no luck out there, unfortunately, today. That's how the ball bounces sometimes out here. A lot of times out here, actually. Didn't even get a bite. Saw a couple of fish, but didn't even get a bite. So I'm starting to think it was that full moon that I was worried about. And that's kind of a bummer because that full moon's not going anywhere. So we'll have to regroup, figure out what the plan is from here, and start kind of thinking about where to fish next. I might like to go up to the East Walker River, which is about an hour from here north. Maybe Convict Lake, maybe Convict Creek, maybe Hot Creek. There's lots of options. So maybe I'll come back here and try further upstream. I did see some big fish in there. They were all they all had white spots on them. So I'm thinking those fish are downstream of the more healthy fish that are still upstream. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I probably am wrong. So anyways, we'll regroup, see what the plan is for tomorrow. It is worth mentioning that even though I had no luck out there today, it's still great to be out on the river. So no complaints, no qualms. Good morning. Sunrise in the Eastern Sierra. Beautiful morning. It didn't really even get too cold last night. Nice and clear. And the plan today is to head back to where we were yesterday and try again. So struck out yesterday, struck out looking. Today I'm going to head upstream of where I was yesterday. Hope I have better luck. And I just want to revise that last statement. I didn't strike out looking yesterday. I went down swinging, but struck out nonetheless. So today hoping for better luck. Well, another day of just zero luck out here. So I guess that's the way it's going to be. But it was a nice walk nonetheless. I walked quite a distance, probably a mile as the crow flies up that way, and walking along the river, which meanders about. A lot of walking, so got a good walk in nonetheless, but fishing, not so good. Oh well, we'll leave it for another day. Well, that's how it goes sometimes on this stream. The upper Owens is not easy to fish, and it's I want to say not uncommon, but it's common to have these types of days up here in the upper Owens. It's windy as all get out, so that makes fishing difficult. The springtime's a little difficult because the water's particularly high, so that makes it hard to get a good drift, a good natural drift. You know, there's no trees on the banks, which makes for nice casting, but that also kind of exaggerates the effect when it's windy like this. It's real difficult to cast and get a good drift. I mean, I didn't really even see. I saw a couple fish. I saw a couple good-sized cutthroat in there. They were just in. They're not really feeding right now, so it's hard to catch them. I have caught them before, just on 2 occasions though, and I've fished up here during this time of year at least 5 or 6 times. So it doesn't happen a lot. That's what makes it extra magical when it does happen. They just weren't out. It might be that full moon that I've been complaining about. They were just not out today. They were not feeding. And that's how it goes up here. But it was a nice walk, like I was saying before. Definitely got my steps in. It was real soggy, real marshy. That's another thing that makes it difficult to fish this time of year, is with all the snow melt and the runoff. It's basically one big marsh that you're walking through. So it was tough work out there today. Definitely had better days of fishing, but still a beautiful day. Like I was saying before, no complaints, no qualms. It's really all about being out here with this scenery and being in the river. And it was fun nonetheless. Just didn't have any luck. So back to camp we go. And as I sit here thinking about the fishing earlier today, I'm thinking about what I could have done differently. But I did see a gentleman when I was packing up. He came out. He said he didn't even have any bites either. So at least it wasn't just me. And so that's why I'm thinking of checking out Convict Lake tomorrow. You can drive up to it, and it's a beautiful lake. If nothing else, I'll get some nice footage. And I brought my float tube. That's always an option. So we'll see. I think I need to mix it up though. I'm not going to fish the Owens River again. I've spent 2 days just walking around that river and throwing in and having no bites. So I need to mix it up. we're mixing it up a little bit today. We're not going to go to Convict Lake and fish Convict Creek like the original, what I was thinking yesterday. The creek just it runs right through a campground there, so it's a nice creek and it looked really nice, but I'm looking for a little bit more of a solitude experience than that. So I am headed up to the East Walker River, which should be a treat, and I'm kind of excited about it. The East Walker is a great river for fishing. It's known for having big brown trout in there in particular. This is a great time to go up there. The flows are perfect. They're not too high and they're not too low. It's about an hour north of Mammoth, so it's a little off the beaten path. It's right by the town of Bridgeport, so it's not super like wilderness or anything, but it's definitely going to see a lot fewer people than Convict Lake area. So that sounds good. I've been up there. I've fished there once before, I think. So, and the flows were really, really low. It was in the fall. So I'm excited. This is a good time to do it. It's a nice, cool day. It's overcast. So I just kind of have a good feeling about this East Walker River. Here we are, East Walker River. Looking nice. We're gonna go down and check out. Oh yeah, this is looking really nice. Mellow waters. There's a little fisherman's trail that goes along the banks. And this is looking really nice. All right, here we are. This is the first little seam that I'm looking to fish. It's right off this sandbank right here. I spoke too soon. Here's our first spot. This little gravel cut right here, and I actually just saw a fish jump over on the other side by all that dead wood. So this is gonna be good, or this could be good. How nice is it out here though? Well, they ain't buying what I'm selling, that's for sure. But we're gonna keep at it for a little bit more. Going to a new spot over here. I had been trying the dry dropper combo with dry flies on the top and little bead heads underneath. Now I'm going, since lots of fish are jumping, or some fish are jumping, now I'm going with the dry action. So 2 dry flies, one big giant, I don't know what you call that thing. Is that a Chernobyl ant? And then a little mosquito looking thing. So my goal is to go over there to that gravel spit and spend a little time there and see how it goes. All right, finally got one. Little brown. Little brown. Maybe about a 12-incher. Finally. All right, well, I think I'm gonna pack it in. But I'm just happy to be off the schneid, to be honest. Finally caught a fish there. I was about to give up for the day. The wind had been kind of kicking up. But lo and behold, I finally caught a brown trout. My first fish, and my first trout of the year, 2024. And this is my first fish on this East Walker River. So, didn't catch the big brown that I was looking for. Didn't catch a lot of fish, but I caught one, and I'm stoked about that. I should mention too that it was a dry setup. So I was fishing with 2 dry flies, and I caught that fish on the little mosquito looking bug. So it's always fun catching a fish on a dry fly. You can see the take, and that was a thrill. So, all right, signing off from the East Walker. Good morning. Here we are. We are at the lower section of Convict Creek, just south of the 395 by the little green church. And today is the first Saturday before Memorial Day, so that means fishing is open on this section of creek. Looks like we have one other potential angler out here, but I'm hoping that these fish, it's been a while since they've been fooled before, so I'm hoping to fool some trout. There's not going to be anything big in this creek. It's a pretty creek, that's for sure, but there's not going to be anything big in here. But I know that there's fish in here. I've scoped it out and I've seen some. But I'll fish with my lightweight gear. I had been fishing with my 9-foot 5-weight rod. Today I will be fishing with my 7.5-foot 2-weight rod. So a lot more touch and a lot more feel, and I really actually like fishing with these lightweight rods. You can really feel the trout, even though they're not big. The little ones can go berserk, and it's just I just think it's real fun fishing with the lightweight gear. So looking forward to it. All right, here we are. We're on the creek. As you can see, it's flowing nicely. I did see some fish up there, a little upstream. I've walked downstream. I've got a dry fly, the blue-winged olive. I've been fishing, and I've already gotten hung up using a dropper, a wet fly, little bead head. So I'm gonna go with a dry fly because it's easier to control. And I did see an angler that said he had some luck on the dry fly, that the fish are rising. So here we go. Oh, this creek is flowing. It's tough to keep your balance when you shift your weight from one leg to the other. That wasn't very graceful. But we're across, and this should give us good access to this little pool right here that I'm looking to fish. Hope I don't get hung up. I think I'm gonna fish it from the bottom. So this is my inaugural GoPro fishing footage. It's good. Let's hope there's some fish in here. Not getting very good casts. There we go. No love. Not the easiest fishing. It's real overgrown. And that's where, well, it's not too overgrown, but it's pretty brushy. And that's unfortunately where the trout usually like to hang out, is under the brush, and it just makes them impossible to get to. So, just hiking down to the next spot that looks fishable. So this is a kind of a log jam back there. All that brush, it's just all super overgrown back there. There's these ponds down here, but there's actually some fish down there. So I might try to fish these ponds if I can not spook them. I came up this way. I might try to spend some time fishing these ponds, try to make my way over to this island, and then fish the main stream that comes down over there. But I see a nice fish hunkered down over here, so this might be worth checking out, and hopefully it's not too soggy and I can cross and get over that island. Alright, we're on that island. It was hard fishing for this guy back over here because it's so brushy and it was easy to spook him. But I'm hoping there's some fish in here. And this is a little mucky, but I'm hoping I can get over and fish upstream into this area. I don't see anything in here. This is going to be tough casting right into the wind. I think if there's any fish in here, I spooked them. Makes for tough fishing, that's for sure. There's a nice fish down there underneath that log jam. Looks like a nice 15-inch rainbow or so, but there's just no way to get to it, and that's kind of how it is on this creek. So I think I'm gonna head back, maybe fish a little bit on the way back, and we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna try to fish below this log jam up here. I don't know what I'm gonna do if I catch one. I'm not gonna be able to get the fish up here, but this is tough going, man. But there's gotta be fish down here. We'll see. I'm probably gonna get stuck, but gotta give it a try. I'll keep my casts tight. I'll get it in the back at the end. Well, I knew that was happening. I knew that was gonna happen. Oh, I got my fly. I'm still good. Got him. Got one. Oh, that was sweet. That was a nice fish too. That was a nice fish. Ah, now I'm hung up. God, that was a nice fish. I'm still got my fly. I gotta try that again. I don't know how I'm gonna get that fish. Got him. This is a little one. So I'm kind of glad he came off. Now I'm stuck in this log jam. See if I still got my fly. At least I'm getting bites. Man, that was a nice fish. I'm just taking a little break. Here I am dorking out with my GoPro on. How stupid does that look? But that was a nice fish. I'm gonna have a little beef jerky, take a little break, and then go back to it. Again, I don't know what I'm gonna do if I hook up that fish. I'm probably gonna have to scale over that log jam down into that pool. Hope it's not too deep to secure that fish. But that fish, I mean, this might be a fishtail, but I would venture to say that that was 16 inches for sure. Probably a little too much for this lightweight gear that I'm using. But I got to give it another shot since I'm down here. So we'll see. I don't know what I'm gonna do if I catch this big fish down here. I'm probably gonna have to hike over this log jam. I don't really want to do that, but if I got a good fish like that, I'm gonna have to. Especially if I'm recording. At least I'm getting bites. It's a good sign. Just flirting with danger with that log jam down there. This is the game though. I think that big guy scared him back. He doesn't want to come back out. God, that was a nice fish. What monsters lie beneath? Alright, I'm going to give it a few more casts. I think I might have had my chance. Not getting any more bites. Dang, that was a nice fish. Well, that might do it for me today on this creek. The log jam was kind of the factor that allowed me to approach that trout without him seeing me. This section up here is just really difficult to approach the trout without them seeing you. So that might be all she wrote for this creek and for this trip, but we'll see. All right, that's going to do it for our trip here to the Eastern Sierra. It's a good trip. I think my favorite part for sure was fishing the East Walker River yesterday, followed by today fishing Convict Creek, especially with that hookup. The upper Owens was brutal, as it can be sometimes. Got the trailer hooked up, ready for the long drive home. Signing off from the Eastern Sierra. Till next time.